Good morning, everyone. My name is Esvan. Today I will be discussing an environmental issue that is not only a threat to our ecosystem, but also to public health and local economies. Alexandrium algal blooms in the Swan and Canning rivers. These blooms degrade water quality, harm biodiversity, and cause significant fish kills, with serious consequences for both the river's ecosystem and the community relying on it. The Swan River is facing a growing problem with Alexandrium algal blooms. These blooms release paralytic shellfish toxins, PSTs, which contaminate marine life, especially shellfish, making them dangerous for human consumption. These blooms not only degrade water quality and create low oxygen conditions, but they also disrupt biodiversity and harm local industries such as fishing and tourism. Since 2019, the Swan River has experienced significant Alexandrium blooms, with PSD levels exceeding safety limits in shellfish and crabs, posing a public health risk. PST poisoning can lead to symptoms as severe as paralysis and, in extreme cases, death. The repeated occurrence of these blooms, fueled by nutrient pollution and urban runoff, demands immediate attention and action. From my research, I found that the frequency and intensity of Alexandrium blooms in the Swan and Canning rivers are primarily driven by environmental factors like nutrient pollution, water temperature, river flow, and salinity. The combination of urban runoff and reduced river flow during the dry season creates favorable conditions for these harmful algal blooms. As these blooms become more frequent, the concentration of PSTs in local marine life, especially mussels, crabs, and fish, has increased, posing greater health risks to both humans and marine species. Moreover, biodiversity in the river is under threat due to the decreased survival of species like mussels and crabs, which form a crucial part of the river's food web. The key conclusion is clear: addressing nutrient pollution and managing the river's water quality is essential to prevent the escalating frequency of these blooms. If we do nothing, these toxic blooms will continue to disrupt both the environment and the local economy. This issue matters because the Swan and Canning rivers are central to both the local ecosystem and the community's well-being. These rivers support a range of marine species and provide important resources for local communities through fishing and tourism. However, the economic consequences are severe. Fish kills and closure of shellfish harvesting areas lead to lost income for fisheries and reduced tourism. However, furthermore, public health is at risk, with PST contamination in seafood potentially causing serious illnesses or fatalities. If left unchecked, these blooms will result in long-term environmental degradation, threatening the river's health, the viability of fisheries, and the sustainability of the local economy. The impact could ripple across future generations, with potential irreversible damage to the region's natural resources. So what can we do to address this growing problem? We can start by reducing nutrient pollution from urban runoff and agricultural sources. Locally, we can advocate for stricter regulations on wastewater management and improved land use practices to limit the amount of nutrient entering the rivers. Communities can also participate in monitoring programs that track PSC levels in seafood and report findings to the public, helping to reduce exposure to contamination. On a national level, supporting research into predicting and managing algal blooms, as well as funding the implementation of effective mitigation strategies, is essential. Additionally, international collaboration on nutrient reduction and bloom management can further strengthen efforts to protect rivers like the Swan and Canning. In conclusion, Alexandrian blooms are not just a threat to marine life, but also to human health, local economies, and the broader environment. The longer we delay action to address the pollution causing these blooms, the more severe the consequences will be. However, by working together on a local, national, and international level, we can reduce nutrient pollution, mitigate the impact of these blooms, and protect the health of the Swan River for future generations. Thank you for listening.